Good evening and welcome to Warren Central, home of the Warriors, for another edition of high school football on the IHSAA Sports Network. Along with Joe Polizzi and the rest of our fantastic crew, I'm John Herrick. Thank you so much for being with us on this beautiful night for football. Two 1-1 teams coming in to duke it out tonight in a temperature that is 71 degrees. We should get down to about 60 this evening for the low, but it is going to be another nice night. Some wind, as you can see there from the flag, but aside from that, should be a fantastic evening for high school football. Our game tonight brought to you in part by the Fountain Room, voted one of America's 50 most beautiful restaurants, by the Gridiron Foundation, Growth, Development, Purpose. Find out more at gridiron.org. By the IndyCard Exchange, make money off of your collection and find out how you can do it at indycardexchange.com. By LD Smith Plumbing, the big dogs of plumbing and drains. And by the Shearer Brothers Realty, local real estate experts serving the neighborhoods around North Central and throughout Washington Township. So, Joe, tonight, two 1-1 teams coming in on different footing. You look at North Central, they're coming off of a loss, a tough one at that against Hamilton Southeastern. But for Warren Central, they're coming off of a win over Warsaw, 28-14. Let's start with the North Central Panthers first, Joe. The message from their head coach, Colin Kofer, this week was all about getting in the right mindset and making sure that they shake off last week's tough performance.
Well, he's got a chore ahead of him because of a team that has had not a great deal of success up until this year. Started out hot and then take a rather sizable dip that second week. Yes, this is a very important week to find out your real true team personality. Are you going to be high and excited like that first week, or go through some tough spells like we saw last week?
We'll talk more about Warren Central when we come back after this, as they get ready to do the national anthem. It is a battle of two 1-1 teams in the Metropolitan Interscholastic Conference. We have that all for you when we come back in a moment on the ISC Sports Network.
We Build Indiana. The Laborers International Union of North America are building roads and bridges to get Hoosiers where they're going today, and a new energy infrastructure that will keep Indiana competitive tomorrow. LIUNA's over 12,000 statewide members also grow local economies, earning good union wages, shopping where they live and work, and paying taxes. We build Indiana for good jobs and stronger communities. The Laborers International Union of North America. We are LIUNA.
Your home uses water all day, every day. So when plumbing problems arise, you need them fixed fast and right. The LD Smith Plumbing crew can handle anything, from outdoor plumbing repairs to everyday water problems. Plumbing may not be pretty, but we're pretty darn good at it, and we'll always give you a fair price.
That's our dirty, stinking, honest LD Smith Plumbing promise.
LD Smith Plumbing.
A dirty, stinking, honest.
Call today for $50 off any plumbing repair, big or small.
Gridiron Foundation is all about development. When they first started learning about football, all the way to high school, giving them opportunities with their hard work and the ecosystem we've built.
We take them out of their neighborhoods and put them in front of Division I coaches and give them a purpose and a chance to be successful after high school.
The type of growth that I've seen in our athletes and the Gridiron Foundation has been more off the field than on the field. That was the original purpose, to make well-rounded young men in life and community.
1, 2, 3, train!
Being a Division III athlete, I can be an athlete and still have very strong academics, especially here at Wabash.
Professors here are super supportive of the athletic work that we do. That's a really great way that Wabash supports its student athletes.
I love being a Division III athlete. I have a tremendous amount of work being a biochemistry major, and I can still flip the switch, go to practice, play the sport that I love, and you can do both.
We are not far away from kickoff as the Warren Central Warriors get set to battle the North Central Panthers. Along with Joe Polizzi, I'm John Herrick. All right, Joe, we talked a little bit about North Central before the break. For Warren Central, they took it on the chin in week 1 against Center Grove, but they kind of got more back to who they were in week 2, beating Warsaw 28-14, and looked like they really got it done on the ground.
I think you're absolutely right. That second week is more as the Warren Central football team that we're going to know and find out tonight. They are every year as fast and as skilled as any football team in the state. They have that again this year, that type of speed and quickness, and their big kids played a little better last week in that they were able to run the football. I think we're going to see Warren continue to grow and get stronger, and that's going to make for a heck of a challenge for North Central.
Well, we talked about Coach Colin Kofer in our first segment about how he's running things in his first year, trying to change the mindset. For JT Whitaker, he is the Warren Central head coach this season in his first year with a record of 1-1, but he's also the assistant athletic director. He's had a lot of experience. He's been around the game quite a bit before being a head coach. What do you think he brings to the table as he tries to lead this team?
As having coached both Kofer and JT Whitaker at the University of Indianapolis, I know these guys very, very well, and I'm so proud to say that they are just committed to teaching good fundamental football. So I think what we're going to see from both schools are the ability to just play solid football, eliminate the mistakes, play strong fundamentals, and in that case, it's going to make the running game very, very important tonight, because I know that they've worked so hard on their kids up front to be able to execute and so they can control the football.
Let's look at the quarterbacks for both teams here for a second. When you look at North Central, Chase Grove is the starter. He has 5 touchdown passes and 2 interceptions, but the 2 interceptions came in the loss last week to Hamilton Southeastern. And we'll talk about the Warren Central quarterback situation in a moment, how we might see more than one guy. But Chase Grove, he had some adversity against Brebeuf, but he had far more of it against Hamilton Southeastern. How does he try to emerge with a better performance this week?
I think we've seen him grow from week 1 to week 2. Last week certainly was much more challenging for him. He played with poise. He handled the football, protected the football well. He took his hits, and he kept getting up and coming back and playing with that intensity and enthusiasm. I just think we're going to see a young man who's very, very talented continue to grow, continue to be faced with tough competition, and he's just going to continue to get better and better and better.
And then for Warren Central, we've seen 2 of their guys, they've had 3 quarterbacks play, but the 2 guys that have played the bulk of the time, Anthony Dennison and then Joe Goss, those are the 2 guys that have played quite a bit through the first couple games. What do they bring to the table for this Warren Central Warrior Club?
I see of the 3 quarterbacks that they have played, they're all talented. They all have their little their tricks that they can play and excel at. I think it's a matter of the coaching staff trying to discern which is going to be best to lead our team, where they all have their skills. And I think that they're it's the old saying, if you have 2 quarterbacks, you really don't have one. And it's even more difficult when you have 3 that could play. So it's going to be a matter of who emerges, who continues to improve, and who can eliminate turning that ball over and playing good, safe, sound, fundamental football.
And I think that leads very well into our keys to the game that we've hinted at a little bit. What do you think really steps up in your mind here, Joe?
I think that in the last 2 weeks, and certainly last week in particular, Warren has shown that they want to run the football. They can run the football, and very physical with their backs and up front. And that's going to be the key. What team is going to be most efficient at stopping the run? Number 2 is the protection. We talked about the hits that Chase took last week. Protection up front is going to be very important. They need to utilize their skill, get that ball to their talented, skilled athletes. And I think that the protection up front is going to be very, very huge key. And in every football game that you'll ever see, it's who can hold on to the football, control the football without turning it over, giving the other team an extra possession in short touchdown opportunities. Certainly turnovers will be a key in this football game.
All righty. Team captains are heading out there for North Central. It is Yatwan Sledge, Sam Kanich, also Schneider Pierre, and that is also Jaden Wakefield. He's number 8 in white. So the North Central Panthers are in the white jerseys tonight. Warren Central in their really nice looking gold and black style. Gotta love the helmet with the W on there. And the jerseys are looking nice.
Sure are. What a great night. These 2 teams, although it's been one-sided in their outcome, these 2 teams at the outset will get after each other with a vengeance, and I'm very much looking forward to that.
So Warren Central won the toss, but they deferred. So North Central is getting the football first. So we will get our first look tonight at Chase Grove, who you see on your screen warming up. As for the rest of the starting lineup for the North Central Panthers, you can't sit there and talk about the Panthers without talking about Demetrius Averett. The Averett boys, Joe, in these first 2 weeks have really made an impression on this team, especially offensively.
Wow, are they explosive? And that is the whole idea behind what we're going to see in this game tonight, the speed and skill on the field. Who can get the ball in the hands of their explosive players? And those two that you mentioned are dynamite.
Back deep to receive the opening kickoff, Damon Krim, senior wide receiver, who you saw there on your screen, and Caleb Fowles kicking off for the North Central Panthers. The Averett boys, who Joe and I told you about. You have Tuajon Averett, who has 5 catches for 31 yards, but Demetrius Averett, 9 receptions, 182 yards, and 2 receiving touchdowns. And here is the kickoff from Fowles. It goes in the field of play, bouncing, rolling, and it goes out of bounds. So, but looking at it though, Krim touched it, so that should give Warren Central some not so great field position to start it, and I think they're looking at where he touched it last. So you see him, he comes over, and that's where he touched it. So officials will have to talk that one over. That's not something you normally see.
No, usually, 2 hands on that ball and rip it out of the air, but they're going to start with their backs to the wall, that's for sure. Inside the 5, down to about the 3-yard line is where they will start this drive.
That is not something you normally see on an opening kickoff. So there is the starting lineup for the Warren Central Warriors. So Dennison is getting the start. We might see Goss. There's the first carry of the game to Keon Thomas, and we'll see a lot of Thomas tonight, Joe, and he's a guy that could be on track to get over 1,000 yards this season easily.
So talented, so talented. Looks like a man among boys out there right now, and they took advantage of a good hard run to get their backs out of that end zone.
And then a throw out in the flat. North Central defense pursues it well. Catch made by Mikkel Tanner. He is brought down on that run by Chris Benjamin, junior defensive back.
Well, with a young quarterback, you always want to start off with a nice, easy completion in order to get some momentum going, get the confidence there. They made that happen. That's not the way they're going to make their bread and butter tonight. They're going to hammer that football. We see it again right here.
2 yards on that reception. Thomas gets the carry, and he just goes flying up the gut. He's got the first down. So already 2 first downs on this drive for Warren, so even though they didn't get great field position out of it on the kickoff, they've moved out of the shadow of their own goal line.
Again, as talented as North Central is up front, I'm not sure that they've put the hours, they will now with Coach Kofer, I'm not sure that they've put the hours in the weight room that a team like Warren has. And we're going to see tonight if they can stack up physically.
And rolling right with that is Jack Quillen. So again, there's 3 different quarterbacks that could get the ball for Warren Central. Quillen's one of them, Goss is another, Anthony Dennison is the 3rd, and Quillen fires that one incomplete.
Jack has got a nice arm for a sophomore. He's going to be effective, but again, I think they're going to throw to keep that defense honest, but their bread and butter tonight is going to be hammering it up front and with a slew of tailbacks that can make plays. Here we go.
And Thomas again, it feels like every time he touches the football, it just moves to gold as he is brought down at the 37-yard line. That is already the 3rd first down on this drive for the Warriors.
It's such a helpless feeling as a coach, and when you're on the sideline and you just can't stop that run. Offensive line coming off the football like a big wave, a tidal wave moving at you, and a big, strong physical back with the ball in his hands. It's an extremely difficult situation and something you have to stop or it's going to be a long night.
Jamison Hiddle with that last hit for North Central. Now this time Thomas gets the carry, has way less room to work with this time. And it is Emmanuel Ohine Dwumfor on the tackle, helped out by Colton Abatar Connor. Abatar Connor, one of the leading tacklers on this team through a couple of weeks. Gain of 4, 2nd down and 6. for the Warrior defense, for the Warrior offense, excuse me, against the Panther defense. Quillen remains in at quarterback, fakes the handoff, he keeps, he rolls and is able to get some positive yardage out of it before running into the waiting arms of Andrew Veach and Abitar Connor. So 3rd down here for Warren.
Nice complimentary call. Let the quarterback pull it out and keep it. Again, we know that their bread and butter tonight's going to be hammering that football. But to keep the defense home, keep the defense playing solids in the right spots, you got to have the quarterback as an effective option.
And they go to Thomas again on the ground game, and this time the Panther defense is there. Colin Kofer, the head coach for the Panthers, sticks his hands up and says, way to go, boys, nice job in forcing a 4th down.
Well, as has been the case the last couple weeks, when the defensive line of the North Central Panthers can get up the field and get some penetration, good things happen, and they were able to that time. A slanting move got 3 of their big front 7 guys up the field, and that's tough to run against when they're on your side of the football.
The explosive Demetrius Averett awaits on this punt from Warren Central. And this one gotten away by Demarius White. White with not a bad punt there, and it's fielded well by Averett, and Averett called for a fair catch, which he makes at the 25-yard line, and that is where North Central will start their first drive of the game. Tonight's game brought to you in part by LIUNA, the 12,000 Hoosier men and women with Laborers District Council and affiliated local unions that build in Indiana. We are LIUNA. This Warren Central defense was on the field a lot against Center Grove, less last time against Warsaw, holding them to 14 points. And there is Chase Grove trying to bounce back from last week's tough performance where he threw 2 interceptions, but got hit as he threw quite a bit. 8:41 to go in the first quarter. Zion Murphy gets the carry here. It's his 19th carry on the season. He's averaging 9 yards a carry. Does have a rushing touchdown. It was a 56-yarder back in week 1 against Brebeuf. Doesn't get much here. 2nd down.
He's another one of those flash young men that can, when the football's in his hands, hold on because something great's going to happen. But I'm not sure that they're going to see a better front 7 all year is what they're facing right now. There's some good-looking, tough athletes up front.
They only gave him 1. Murphy the carry again. Murphy trying to cut back inside. Not much there as Damon Krim slides in to make the Warren tackle. So already North Central in danger of possibly going 3 and out here.
Well, you got to appreciate the fact that they want to run the football and establish the run. Keep the pressure off a young quarterback. He threw that ball way too many times last week and took way too many hits. I like that they're trying to run the football. I just hope they can get something established with their up front blocking.
3rd down and 8. Grove, first pass of the game, fires, overshoots his intended target, who he hit quite a bit early on, Javen Brooks, in that first half, but a penalty marker is down.
He took another hit, and I think it was late. Nope, we got a hold.
So holding penalty on North Central, which Warren obviously declines because they know they just forced a 4th down.
Yeah, for a young man, especially a 10th grader, playing quarterback at this level of competition, those hits add up.
Yeah.
And that was an out pattern that in the first game we saw him drill it in there. Second game, maybe not quite as effective, and this time he overthrew it a long shot. I hope he can get that cleared from his mind so he can play the kind of football we know he's capable of.
Caleb Foles to punt this one away to Mikkel Tanner, but the snap is a bad one. Foles has to kick it away. He tried to force a safety. Warren might pick it up, sliding for it. The Warriors may have it. If they do, it's a touchdown, and it is. Unreal. Foles tried to go back and kick it out. Didn't get there in time. The Warriors fly in to get it. That's Cody Twyman, number 14 on your screen, helped out as well by Jelani Reed, who is number 3, and the Warriors are on top 6-0.
That high snap, it's one of the things that you work so hard on. You don't want to turn the football over ever, but you certainly don't want to turn it over in the kicking game to cause a big swing like that. I'm not sure that he shouldn't have just picked it, just caught it out of the air and made something happen with it, but he tried to get the safety rather than give up the 6.
Jermaine Ellery on for the extra point, and Ellery's kick, a little bit of a line drive, but it is good. So miscue by the Panthers puts the Warren Central Warriors on top first, 7-0 with 7:20 to go in the first quarter. But the good news for North Central, they get the ball right back on this ensuing possession. Tonight's big dog of the game, powered by LD Smith Plumbing and Drains, in plumbing and in football. The battle is won in the trenches, and that is where the big dogs dig. Linemen open the holes, unclog the mess, and protect their team every single down. That is why LD Smith Plumbing and Drains highlights the big dog of the game. Stay tuned. We will award the big dog in the fourth quarter.
The score, your Warriors 7.
So Warren Central to kick off. North Central's got to try to put that behind them. And back deep for North Central is Tuajon Averett. There he is on your screen. But some of the up men are also a little scary, so if you try to kick it away from him, North Central might have a plan for that.
Yes, sir. There's some talent on that field. Not exactly the start they wanted, exactly the opposite of the start they wanted, to be able to control the football and execute what they're doing instead of putting themselves in a hole like this. It's going to take some coaching and some good poise to get themselves back on track and stabilize and play some solid football here, offensively and defensively.
Jermaine Ellery to kick it off once again. He's got the ball teed up on the 40. Gets his right leg into it, and it looks like a squib kick, but I think somebody from Warren might have jumped off sides or ran a little too early. That's why a flag comes down right at the 40. Joe, I think you and I have seen an offsides on the kickoff every week so far.
I think you're right. and I'm telling you, this is something that every team in the United States, especially a team that's so fundamentally conscious as North Central, this is something you work on every single practice. And you have a coach stand right there on the line to make sure it doesn't happen. But I guess you can't fault a kid for being too eager, correct? Rather have them eager than not.
Ellery to kick off once again. Squibs it again over towards the corner, and it's picked up, so Averett's got to play it this here. And good job by Averett to come up and get it, and gets 15 yards on the return. Tackled there by Darian Ford, a junior defensive back. So Averett's able to save some of that field a little bit and give the North Central Panthers some good starting field position.
Well, that indicates quite a bit about what they feel about the deep returners for North Central. They don't want to give them an opportunity. They know that those are back deep are two very, very dangerous ball carriers. They want to limit their hands on that football with a running start, but a good return regardless.
Juwan Waddell going wide to the left here. Demetrius Averett in the game. So is Tuajon Averett. Looks like they've got Tuajon as the main back. Yes, he is trying to figure out what Chase Grove, the quarterback, wants him to do. Figure it out. And Grove rolling, pressure comes, gets rid of it, and nearly picked off the man who got his hands on it, Cody Twyman, who was already down there earlier on that botched punt, and he helped recover the football in the end zone for the Warren touchdown. He almost had a pick there, second down.
I understand and it's a smart concept to get him out of that pocket. Let him roll out and throw that football, but he threw it up into a too deep coverage where the corner was there, safety was over the top. Tough call, tough decision. Pretty slim percentage.
Tuajon Averett and Demetrius Averett both in there. This time it's Demetrius making the catch at the 40. Angles his way out of bounds, picking up some positive yardage there.
Number 6, Demetrius Averett.
They give him the 41, so that's a gain of 5. That sets up third down and 5.
We like that. Good quick release, quick getting the football out of that offensive quarterback's hands and getting it into a flat, open wide receiver.
Grove spreads it out again. Tuajon back there. He looks and he fires, tipped in the air and almost intercepted again. This time the man who got his hands on it was Marquise Ballard. Ballard, who's number 16 on your screen there, just swiped at it, knocked the ball down as Chase Grove tries to figure things out.
Had a guy wide open in that curl zone right there. Good defensive play, other than that was the right choice by Chase. Trying to hit that curl right on the hash. Good defensive play, quick reactions. This Warren Central, I can't say enough how much talent is out there in that field. Very, very good reaction to get his hand on that football and force the punt.
Caleb Foles on to punt this one away again. He would love to have a better result than last time, but it's another bad snap. This time he picks it up. He's being chased and run out of bounds. They spot him out at about the 19-yard line. So instead of getting rid of the football and pinning Warren deep, now you have allowed them to have fantastic field position. So they got to figure some things out on that snap, Joe.
They sure do. There are ways that you can fix that. Move it up a little bit so that it's more of like a PAT snap where you're just getting it and getting that punt off. But you don't want to continue to give a dangerous football team like this these short touchdown opportunities.
There is Wyman again. Cody Twyman's been all over it. Terrell Harris was back there as well. Now Warren tries to cash in with Thomas as Keon Thomas goes blasting to the outside, and he might have the first down. It depends on the spot. But they just changed the marker from first to second down, so it looks like it's second and short.
Yeah, you work so hard all week, and you got your game plan, you got your call sheet, and everything is feeling good. And then all of a sudden, your first two drives, you're giving them short fields, and that's a tough thing to live with. Good run, good physical run, and he's in.
Thomas, my goodness. Keon Thomas just goes flying up the middle, bouncing off tacklers into the end zone, and Warren Central, 2 plays, they cover 19 yards in the blink of an eye, and they up their lead to 13-0.
Well, they're going to have a tough time stopping that run to begin with, but to give them short inside the 25 field of possession makes it so much more difficult and puts the stress on that defensive front. And it's going to be a time right now where Coach Kofor gets to work on just stabilizing his team and getting them to playing some good fundamental football.
Jermaine Ellery on for the point after. Snap is good, the hold is good, the kick by Ellery. He got a little more leg into it that time, and that was a beauty. 14-0. Warren Central Warriors on top, taking advantage of 2 special teams miscues by the Panthers. Don't forget to hit the spot at Raising Cane's, where every chicken finger is hand battered and cooked to order. Every crinkle cut fry comes from grade A premium potatoes. Each thick sliced Texas toast is lightly brushed with Cane's garlic butter blend and grilled to golden brown perfection. And most importantly, where the secret recipe Cane's sauce is made in restaurant every day. The Cane's box combo is sure to hit the spot and leave you craving more. Raising Cane's chicken fingers, one love. Well, Warren Central has certainly got to love the way this game has started. They've gotten Keon Thomas on track, and the running game is working, and the special teams blunders there by North Central have led to both the 14 points.
You talk about the importance of the kicking game, and you pretty much take for granted a lot of those things, especially the snap on a punt like this. I'm watching him on the sideline here without any pressure, and it's looking pretty good, but that changes drastically when you're out there on the hot lights. And to do that in succession 2 times and give up short touchdowns is going to be very difficult to overcome.
Ellery with the kickoff. Goes to the opposite side, goes off of one of the North Central up men. That was Princeton Jean, who falls down on it, has no other choice but to do it. So North Central getting the ball back in a 2-touchdown hole. By the way, Thomas has 61 rushing yards already in this game, and that puts him at 363 on the year and 5 rushing touchdowns, and this is just game number 3 for Warren Central.
Yeah, he's a good, strong, physical back, but you can't overstate what they're doing up front. Very, very tough and physical. They come off that ball as well as any high school team I've seen in quite some time.
Avery at the running back, firing is Grove. Intercepted. No, it's dropped. Dropped. Very close, though. Cody Twyman made a sliding effort. What a game he is having. I mean, he is all over the field, and Chase Grove having a night to forget so far, trying to get something going.
They're trying, I mean, he has been trying to force it into situations where it probably isn't there. They've got the two safeties that are just overlapping and playing things tough underneath. He's going to have that pointed out to him that that's not the place to go when a safety's sitting right back there on the hash ready to drive on it.
Well, Zion Murphy got a couple of carries on the opening drive. Since then, not much. Grove firing, might have a man downfield, tipped off his hands. Antonio Woodson, who's been somebody that Grove has been able to rely on, and there you just see the frustration mounting for the sophomore.
You know what? You just don't want to see that. And that's something Coach Kofort's going to have to, and his whole staff are going to have to work on that. We got to take each snap as if we're unstoppable and undefeated. And once you start acting like it's futile, will become that way.
Woodson, by the way, who that last pass was intended for, does have a touchdown catch and 80 yards receiving. This time he goes to the outside. Jawan Waddell thought he might have some room, but he did not. He was quickly swallowed up by Dexter Smith and a few of his friends. So let's see what they decide to do here on fourth down. Grove is staying out there, it looks like, and I think after these two special teams mistakes, he doesn't want to. They don't want to take any chances of having another bad snap. So they're going for it on 4th and 6.
It's not an enviable position.
Unless Grove decides to pooch punt it, yep, he will. And he gets off a beautiful punt. And it went a little too far for him. But at least if you're North Central, you flip the field a little bit and you give Warren the ball with their worst starting field position of the night. So at least that is one positive thing they can build around.
Exactly.
Are you curious as to how much your home is worth? The Shear Brothers team at United Real Estate will provide you with a no-cost, no-obligation market value report of your home. So call now, 317-255-7285. That is Shear Brothers Realty. So now, Warren Central, even when they have not been forced to have great field position or to return a punt, their running game has been fantastic. Let's see if they stick with it in Keon Thomas. And they do have a new quarterback in the game. It is Joe Goss. So they continue to rotate quarterbacks. Warren started this drive from the 20 with about 5:40 to go. Now the Panthers are trying to say that he lost the football. And Chris Benjamin was trying to say he had the ball on the recovery, but the referee says no. 2nd down and 8. They have not attempted a pass yet. Now they will with Goss. Goss in trouble, being chased, and fires it out of bounds. He was looking for Zechariah Wallace, who's their leading receiver, but he missed him. And the man who helped put the pressure on, Emmanuel Ohene Dwumfor. What a job by him.
Absolutely, that was much needed. You said they haven't thrown, and I don't expect them to throw very much, being so successful with the running game. But that was a beautiful job by putting some pressure, making him throw it in a hurry and getting him in a 3rd and long situation. You just got to stabilize that team and play some ball.
3rd and 8. Pressure coming on Goss. Gets away from the initial wave, steps up and fires, and is it caught? They say no. Diving attempt made. Well done by Damon Krim on the effort. It was kind of a scramble play to try to come back and make himself available. Just couldn't hold on, and now Warren Central has to punt.
Beautiful job. We needed that 3 and out, and a good adjustment on correcting the situation with the punt, getting some pressure on the quarterback, and now this is as good an offense as we've seen from North Central. Their kicking game and their ability to get the ball in the hands of some extremely talented returners.
Colton Avatar Connor helping put some pressure on for North Central. Jermaine Ellery to punt it away again. Low line drive. No. And it's picked up. Warren Central's trying to say that North Central touched it, so it was picked up there by Darian Ford, but a referee came over and said the ball is down. So that's not a touchdown for Warren.
But it teases the crowd.
Yes, yes. And it gives them something to go berserk about. Now, there's 4 officials all standing at midfield saying ball is down.
Yeah, everybody knows that doesn't count. That may slip into the highlight film just for the heck of it, but it's coming on back.
Wait, I don't know that it is. I think they just...
No.
Now they're talking it over with Kofor, and I think I saw one referee stick his hands up and say touchdown.
Well, I didn't see anybody touch that ball, did you?
I didn't see a North Central player touch it. Now they're saying touchdown. Oh my goodness.
Let's see this. I didn't see that ball.
It either touched 81 or 50. The only one it could have touched for North Central was Jared Harrison, number 20. But
here it is again. We got a great shot at it. Nothing.
That's great work by our camera crew. I don't think a North Central player touched that football.
I think you can advance your own punt. I think they would want to throw that little challenge flag out there. Oh, this is number 3 kicking breakdown that's just crushing this North Central team.
Ellery with the point after. Good. 21-0 Warren Central. Now we'll take our first time out of the evening. All Warriors so far on the ISC Sports Network.
Well, the Colin Kofor I know is a pretty easy-tempered guy. He was on that hash right there, just giving it to that officials, that little clump of officials out there, knowing that there's no way they should give up 6 points that way, and he's still going at it.
I'm John Herrick, who you just heard speaking there is Joe Polizzi. If you missed it, if you're just joining us, this is the play in question where they called a touchdown for Warren Central on this punt, where they said that ball, when it bounced, touched a North Central player. And we have looked at it several times. Don't see a touchdown there. We believe Colin Kofor, as you see there on the sideline, beside himself. Last thing he wanted was to be in a 21-0 hole, but all 3 touchdowns for the Warriors have come off of some sort of special teams blunder or tough break. And now Ellery on to kick it off again. Jermaine Ellery gets his right leg into it. He's going to be so exhausted by the time it's over. That time it does go off a North Central player, and the Warriors might have it. Yep, this time they do. Just goes off of the body of Noah Covington, and Warren Central recovers, and that sideline, the look on the North Central sideline tells you everything you need to know right now.
Well, you know what? It's just it's uncharacteristic. We've seen them play some pretty good football, not this avalanche of mistakes. And Coach Kofor's, he's still on the officials about that kick return. But the fact is that they're good enough. We don't have to help him. Well, of our mistakes, our kicking game mistakes, and it's going to be very, very difficult, but doable to overcome this.
There was a penalty flag after the play was over. Now, there was some extracurricular activity. It's a rivalry game for sure, because These two teams that play each other in the same conference. Sometimes they'll see each other in the postseason on top of the regular season. And North Central is using their first timeout of the half. Coach Colin Kofer there telling his guys, get back, get recomposed. Let's figure this out.
Yeah, that's something that's very difficult to prepare for. Just the plethora of kicking game mistakes. It's tough to overcome, and it's tough to foresee because you work that stuff every day in practice in your kicking game. You just don't expect this clump of issues.
Well, right along with what you said in the pregame, Joe, about keys to victory, turnovers and mishaps. North Central had too many of them in week 2, but really rough go of it so far here in week 3. Now I think we've got another new Warren quarterback in as Thomas gets the carry. Thomas blasting to the outside. Thomas might have a first down. It depends on the spot. The quarterback on this possession is Jack Quillen. So it's been Quillen, Goss, and Dennison all getting work at QB, but Thomas has been the workhorse.
And they just controlled that up front. If you see that wall over that right side, he wasn't touched till he was about 12 yards down the field. You know, you have a combination of a very good offensive line and a football team in North Central that's a little befuddled by all the kicking game mistakes.
Thomas the carry once again, and Hiddle was there. Jamison Hiddle got a piece of him, also helped out by Colton Abitar Connor. Depends on the spot. They give him the 25-yard line for a gain of 7, so second down and 3.
Here's the challenge. Here's the thing that you work so hard for in the offseason is getting that mindset to forget the last play and just keep battling. Now they've got to come with a good defensive front here and make a stop and get some momentum going in order to get this thing turned around.
Throw down the sideline. Caught! Did he get his feet in? Yes! The Warren Central Warriors putting on a clinic. It's Zachariah Wallace who beats the coverage and scores.
Perfectly led, up in the air forever. Defensive back had it covered, swatted at the ball and missed. Great concentration on the part of the receiver pulling that in. It was pretty tight coverage.
Nice job by Jack Quillen, who just threw his second touchdown pass of the season.
You talk about dropping it in the bucket. That was a perfect throw and catch. Just everything is going right. Everything is going right for the Warriors.
And Ellery hits the extra point. All Warren Central as they continue to pile more on. Back in a moment on the ISC Sports Network.
We build Indiana. The Laborers International Union of North America builds and maintains roads, bridges, and other essential infrastructure that make us the crossroads of America. So thanks to LIUNA members' work, Hoosiers have a better quality of life, like access to utilities, easier routes to jobs, schools, or medical care. We build Indiana for good jobs and stronger communities. The Laborers International Union of North America. We are LIUNA.
Colin Kofer, the head coach for North Central, knows he's got to get something figured out and get it figured out quick. His team trails 28-0 with 4:05 to go in this first quarter. 46 seconds was the scoring drive. That's all it took on the last one. 3 plays, 45 yards. Warren Central recovered the kickoff, which was supposed to be a field by North Central, but it went off of a North Central player in Noah Covington. Warren recovers it at the North Central 45-yard line. Then they go 45 yards for the score.
I'm not so sure they were properly prepared for the squib kick. Not having seen it yet this year, not knowing that this was something that would happen, you certainly have to be prepared for it, but it's been giving them nothing but trouble.
Well, there's no 28-point drive. It's all about trying to figure out a way to get back into it one drive at a time. As Ellery squips it, it's a one-hopper. Averett fields it. And 30-yard line is where he is able to manage to get. He fielded at the 22, a gain of 8 on the return. He was brought down well by Juan Jones, a sophomore defensive back. A flag is down, though, so we'll see what this is all about.
The adjustment there was with Coach Kofer. He put more skilled players back. The back 6 are usually 4 out of the 6 are guys that set up the wedge and can block. He made the move to put in more guys that are used to handling the football. It paid off there, and they have a nice hefty 70-yard drive in front of them.
And as you can probably tell, things have gotten chippy, both teams, and I think the head ref is saying to himself and saying to both teams, get it under control here. So that was a offsetting penalties where both teams were called for personal fouls, and there's been a lot of shoving, pushing, talking, jaw-jacking after every play. Again, that's common. These two teams have played each other 55 times over the last 40 years, and North Central has lost 46 of the previous 54 meetings coming in. So they do not have history on their side, but they're trying to change that here. And it is Murphy getting the carry. Murphy trying to bounce off a tackler, but a good job there by Terrell Harris, senior defensive back, for holding on and making that stop.
And this is a good opportunity for two young coaches, first-year coaches on both sides of the field, that are trying to establish a program, not just a team. They're trying to establish a program, and here's where they can really emphasize how do you handle yourself, what kind of poise you have when you're under duress. You don't lose it and start playing uncharacteristic football. You stay to the fundamentals and continue to get better and better every step.
Chase Grove sending a man in motion. That is Covington. And then Murphy gets the carry. Murphy with a nice move initially, trying to take on tacklers, and Sean Fox and Jeremy Finch, two guys there to bring him down. It's right around the 35, depends on the spot. Looks like they're giving him the 36. So that's a gain of 3, and that sets up 3rd down and 4. But keep in mind, North Central has not picked up a first down yet.
That's a very, very physical front 7 by Warren. They're absolutely blowing up that line of scrimmage. But here is a nice spot to pick up a first, get the conversion, and get this machine moving.
Grove, the snap was a bobbler. Averett ends up getting it. Averett goes nowhere. And gets up and then gets decked.
That's going to get both teams.
Yeah, like I said, the chippiness continues. And a good job there by North Central's Yatuan Sledge to back away from it, number 60 in white, saying, hey, hold on, I'm not trying to hit anyone. Let's see what they decide to call on this penalty here. Yeah, of course, Warren Central fans, they're thrilled about the way this is going. Now, we had offsetting penalties to start the drive. They bring it back to the 34. Yeah, that I can see why North Central fans wanted a flag. Sledge gets in there. He gets shoved backwards by Terrell Harris and company. Now what do we have?
I think this is a J.T. Whitaker getting a timeout.
Yep.
And getting things settled in. As I mentioned just a bit ago, these are upstart new programs, and you want to instill discipline and team play and proper play and not let things get carried away. And I'm glad to see both coaches are doing that. They are in charge of this right now, and they're going to set the tempo of what's going to be the football program for North and Warren Central for years to come.
There's Coach Colin Kofer getting into it, telling his players, hey, let's get ourselves on track.
Channel that emotion.
J.T. Whitaker, as Joe mentioned, UIndy graduate, assistant coach, Warren, LC, Ben Davis, before spending the last 9 years at Brownsburg. Said this week, it's been an exciting yet busy experience with Warren. It's a massive job that requires a lot of work going beyond what goes on Friday nights, he says his challenge was to establish the norms and culture and develop quality young men in the classroom and on the field. Again, same thing that Colin Kofer was telling us heading into week 1 before they broke that losing streak. So 4th down, Grove pooch punted it from this situation last time. This time he does it again. It bounces at the 20. And then a good job there by the Panthers to field it as Demetrius Averett goes flying down there to get the job done. So I think Chase Grove, by default, Joe, just became the punter for the team along with being the quarterback.
I'm thankful that they made that decision, made that swap, because it sure has changed the way the game has been played. He wishes he would have done it just one snap sooner, right? But yeah, that's a good adjustment, and now they're able to play some defense and defend the whole field. But this Warren offensive line, they have been having their way up front. Hungry, talented, fundamentally solid. They got a great back behind them, so it's going to be a good, strong football running team all year long. Just like to see these Panthers put up a fight up front.
Keon Thomas continues to be the main back, and they alternate quarterbacks again. Thomas catches this one out of the backfield, shoved out by Garland Davenport, who makes his 2nd tackle of the night. Big thing you don't want to do if you are North Central is give up another touchdown and get close to that running clock situation. That's what you're trying to avoid if you're the Panthers. Thomas gets the carry. Thomas to the outside. I think we've got a flag down. We do. So this might be coming back, but it's just every time it looks like Thomas is going to get corralled or he's in no man's land or he's got a whole bunch of guys around him, he just keeps moving.
He just keeps moving. Amazing, huh? That's what a big-time back looks like.
Yep.
This is a 210-pound junior who's got a whole lot of growth ahead of him, and he just runs the ball like he was put on earth to do it. I like the physical way that he runs the ball, certainly the vision that he has, not to mention some very good speed.
So Warren Central called for the penalty, backs them up to the 9. So they had it from the 18, and now they back it up to the 9, and it's 2nd down and about 19. Throw. Thomas again being chased. Thomas trying to get the penalty yardage back and then some, and he does. Brought down by Abitar Connor again, but sets himself up with 3rd down. Or did they get it? Yes, I knew it was close, but they just gave him the 1st down.
Well, they tried to put some pressure on him, and I don't blame them when you got him down to the hole like that. You want to try to make something happen, but they caught him in a man-to-man, one-on-one situation. Nobody jumped the back, and that back happens to be very dangerous with the pigskin under his arm.
So Jack Quillen's completed a few passes so far. He's been splitting time with Joe Goss at QB. Thomas the carry again. Not much there at all. Anton Ennis, who was our big dog of the week in week 1, who helped out there with Abidar Connor. 2nd down after that tackle.
He has been very impressive. He's been spelled a little bit, and I don't blame him. They need to keep him fresh, but once he's in there, he can play that A-gap as well as anybody I've seen so far this year. Very tough, very physical, and when he's at his best, they're tough to run on.
They are letting the clock wind down, and that does it for quarter number 1. Special teams miscues by North Central. Ground game, power, attack, and precision from Warren Central. That's what defined the first quarter. 2nd quarter comes your way after this on the ISC Sports Network.
Raising Cane's invites you Grab life by the chicken fingers. So get out there. Be you. Do you. Embrace whatever makes you, you. All while enjoying Raising Cane's hand-battered cooked-to-order chicken fingers, crispy crinkle-cut fries, buttery Texas toast, and that secret recipe cane sauce that makes everything that much better. So go on, savor the day.
Raising Cane's chicken fingers, one love.
We changed sides to start the second quarter. A lot of the elementary schools for both teams were celebrated before the game, especially on the Warren Central side. A lot of their club sports. J.T. Whitaker, the head coach for Warren, helps oversee that as the assistant athletic director. The white hat official you see there, I'm sure he's telling both teams, let's calm down a little bit. Let's not have so much pushing and shoving. We had quite a few of that in the first quarter. A couple of personal foul penalties assessed to both teams. Warren trying to up their lead to 35 as they've now got it from their own 29-yard line, second down and about 8. And there's Thomas, continues to be the main workhorse back. He busts free. Thomas down the sideline, pushed out of bounds by Jamison Hiddle. He is so tough to stop.
He is explosive. Nice job up front, right at the point of attack. Good push up front. Created a nice seam. Once he got to the corner, he's tough to stop.
Well, I thought they were going to put it inside the 30, but instead they put it at the Panther 42-yard line. So that is a gain of 29 on that run. Well, he came in below 300 yards rushing, and Thomas might get close to 400 by the time the night's over. Anton Ennis helps make the tackle there that time, but now we've got a North Central player down. And this is Andrew Veach, who is struggling at this time. He's on his back. That's the thing. You might look at this score and think, oh, 28-0. What's going on with the North Central defense? That's not really been the case. It's been the special teams miscues by North Central that have led to those Warren Central points. And then the ground game has been the other main factor for Warren. Keon Thomas has been the best player on the field so far. And you hope that Veach is okay.
Yeah, that was a nightmare in the kicking game. 2 snaps over the head, the phantom fumble that resulted in a touchdown, and then the flubbed kickoff. That's something you don't see in a season for the most part. We saw it all in one quarter. Tough to overcome, but it seems like they've stopped the bleeding. That was the best defensive play they've had all day. Everybody was in the right spot, and there was nowhere to go. Now they have them in a 2nd and long, and you just want to get them together and build off that and continue to everybody gets in the right spot, does their job, and we can beat anybody mentality.
Andrew Veach trying to help himself up. That's good to see. Veach so far this season with 8 tackles and 1 tackle for loss. So, and Veach is just a sophomore, so I think he's got a bright future ahead of himself at North Central. He's been in on quite a few plays this season, so good to see him get off the field at least.
These are the days these guys will remember when they're seniors and they're all 25 pounds heavier and much more mature, and they'll say, remember those days? And now we're at the top of the heap.
That was a 1-yard gain as Veach gets looked at on the sideline. The fire across the middle, catch made. Nicely done there by Keyshawn Williams-Jarrett, junior wide receiver who looked like he had to come back and get it, makes a nice catch and run.
Excellent read by a young quarterback, 10th grader. He saw that both safeties were creeping up. It's become, they were kind of one-dimensional. The safeties creep up, they hit the deep slant, and on the move again.
16-yard gain on that last play. There's the snap, the handoff. Different running back this time. And he's going flying up the field. Jonathan Dossett, sophomore, gets it into the red zone. What a job he did to spell Thomas.
Yes, sir. Some new fresh legs plus an offensive line that's plowing snow up front. We're just moving people out of the way. He wasn't touched for quite a while. And Ran that ball nice and hard and physical.
Jared Harrison saves a touchdown for North Central, but that a gain of 16 on the previous play, 17 on that run. And a fake snap. Flag comes down, though. So a little bit of trickery from Warren Central, and they're frustrated because now they're sitting there thinking, what in the world? Yep, false start. It was directly snapped to Jeremy Finch, so I'm sure that's going to be something they have to pull back. The North Central band trying to rattle the Panthers. There's one negative thing you can say about Warren Central so far. It's that they have struggled a little bit with the penalties. That's their fourth one of the first half.
Well, that was an interesting look. They had two big fellas in that as up backs, snapped it two.
And there's Thomas again. Already has one rushing touchdown. Make it two. Keon Thomas. What a job he continues to do for the Warriors. He just got his 6th rushing touchdown of the season and his 2nd one of the night. 34-0 Warren.
Good movement at the line of scrimmage and a back that is just thirsty for that goal line. You gotta put the shoulder into him if you want to bring down that guy. Very impressive young man.
Jermaine Ellery on for the point after attempt. The holder, who you see there on your screen, number 17, Anthony Dennison. He is one of the 3 quarterbacks that Warren Central has used a lot here through the first 3 games. Snap down, kick on its way, and he makes it. So all Warriors so far, 10:26 to go here in the 2nd quarter of this football game, this conference matchup.
Now,
start your morning at Ruth's Cafe, where the coffee's fresh, the breakfast is made with love, and everybody is greeted with a smile. For 17 years, we've been serving up breakfast, brunch, and lunch to our community. We're open daily from 7 to 2, so come in, get comfortable, and feel right at home at Ruth's Cafe.
so we're running the clock at 35 zip?
I believe so.
And that's not reversible.
That's not till the 2nd
Oh,
half.
I understand.
So
thank you.
if you are Warren, you want to keep your foot on the gas and keep it ahead of 35. If you are North Central, you need to score as many points as you can to keep it under 35. But here's the other thing. North Central still does not have a first down offensively.
Yeah, they've been scrambling as to what they can effectively execute. I would like to see some more quick passing game to those burners at wide receiver. They're not having a good day protecting the quarterback. Quarterback's a little scrambled, and we're just going to need some quick passing game. Get the ball out and make him chase you down.
Ellery has squib kicked it a couple times. How's he handle this one? Does it again. High bouncer. And it goes off of Averett's hands, but Tuajon Averett's able to come down with it, and he gets walloped at the 16-yard line. Chased down there by Demarius White. So not much going there. What's one thing I love about what JT Whitaker is doing here, Joe, is he knows he doesn't have a kicker with a strong leg, so he's doing all he can with what he has, and he's using the whole field to his advantage.
Sure is, and I'm not sure North Central had prepared for this kind of a kickoff return, and I'm afraid what they're doing is telling every team that we play the rest of the year to don't kick it deep, bounce it, and make us struggle.
Chase Grove trying to get something going. Hand off to Averett, and Averett, not much there. That was Tuajon Averett who got the carry, and Jeremy Finch was waiting on him. 2nd down.
This is a very good Warren team. They certainly have the Panthers rattled, but it's not like they're not talented. That up front, they have as good a front 7 as we will see all year. Physical, talented, they run and hit, and seems like they have 12 of them up there.
Throw out to from Grove to Averett. Yeah, but the pressure up the middle just completely rattled him, and I don't blame him. That was Calvin McDonald, junior defensive lineman, who just got right up the gut, and Grove had nowhere to work with it, third down.
And those are the right answers to that pressure. Get it out there in the flat and let your guy run. It's just that's just not quite competent enough to be able to answer properly in this football game.
Grove stepping up, using his legs, getting to the edge. I don't think he got the first down.
And the quarterback keeper by number 9, Chase Grove.
We may get a spot. No.
They have not moved the marker up. Now they say it's the 24, so it's fourth down and about 3. Now, I know you're deep in your own territory, but you're also down 35-0. So what do you have to lose if you do go for it here? This is normally where they've had Grove punt it. Nobody's back deep for Warren, but Grove does punt it, and it goes off of his foot, and I don't know if that was accidental or if it was meant to be what it was, but either way, ugly, not the desired result for the Panthers, and Warren gets fantastic field position here.
That was a little different setup in terms of the quarterback's alignment. The last couple times they did that successfully, he was maybe 2 or 3 yards deeper. This, he was kind of in limbo there, and he had to get it and get it off, and took his eye off the ball and shanked it.
That's just an 8-yard punt.
Ugh.
So
I would not want to be the special teams coordinator today. How about you?
No, I don't think so. And now, let's see who we got at quarterback this time. It's been just about a different guy every time. This time it's Goss for Warren. Goss fires it down the field. Almost caught for the touchdown, but dropped at the last moment. And you feel sorry for the young man in the end zone who's thinking, man, I had it. I thought I had it.
And how about J.T. Whitaker up 35-zip and going deep on first down?
And he was going for Keyshawn Williams-Jarrett. And Schneider-Pierre was covering, but wouldn't have counted anyway because this penalty is against Warren.
Nice job of recovery now by the defensive safeties. They opened up and got deep and changed that play. It was wide open early. They changed that play in a hurry, and they were able to distract the receiver from making that play.
10-yard holding penalty makes it 1st and 20. Back to the ground game. There goes the sophomore once again, Jonathan Dossett. Dossett gets the penalty yardage back to the 30, and that's a gain of 12, so it's 2nd down and 8. But this is another thing you'd love that's ideal for you if you are J.T. Whitaker for Warren, because now you can get some of your 2nd and 3rd string players some quality playing time here. Dossett remains in at running back. Joe Goss, the quarterback. North Central trying to solve some of these questions on defense as the catch is made by Mikel Tanner, but I think that's coming back as we have another Warren Central flag.
Well, that's part of the reverse of what you said, getting kids experience. Great. Are they ready? Maybe not. But they have a stable of young backs that will keep coming after you, and they are punishing in what they want to do. I appreciate the fact that they want to put it up and try to develop their passing game when they can right now, but they can pretty much run the football at will.
Back to the 40, 2nd and 18. So 2 holding penalties on this drive for Warren, 6 penalties for them for the game so far. Goss firing, might have a man open, does! Touchdown Warriors! Zachariah Wallace is in for his 2nd touchdown of the night, a 40-yard bomb.
The safety stepped down. The wideout ran a post right behind him, wide open, good throw, good catch. Unfortunate for that secondary, but you got to play hard every play. And Warren is having themselves a field day.
Schneider-Pierre has been pretty good in coverage for North Central. At that time, I think it's safe to say he was going up against a beast in Zechariah Wallace, 6'3", 210. Ellery's point after attempt, he makes it, and it is 42-0 Warren Central. And we'll be back after this brief timeout on the ISC Sports Network. Don't forget that the Indy Card Exchange will make you a competitive offer on vintage and modern sports cards and Pokemon cards as well. The Indy Card Exchange now offers in-person grading services at their 96th Street location just west of I-69. Plus, you can sign your kids up for the free Indy Card Exchange Kids Club if they are 13 or younger. Find out more when you log on to IndyCardExchange.com. Along with Joe Pulizzi, I'm John Herrick. It has been all Warren Central. North Central's had some moments where looked like they were making something happen. Multiple special teams miscues. There was one touchdown that was granted to Warren that our replay cameras showed, did a great job of showing it, that it did not look like it should have been a Warren Central touchdown, but nonetheless it was, as Demetrius Averett is able to find a way, or Tuajon Averett rather, able to find a way to recover that kickoff and run it out to the 42-yard line. So the Panthers starting with their best field position of the night.
Number 6, Demetrius Averett on the return.
Staying with Grove, and I'm happy to see that. They really need just a confidence-building, nice long drive to get back and somewhat stabilized. We have not seen that yet. We've seen a couple flashes here and there, but not a steady, consistent drive.
Grove rolling to his right. Chased, down he goes. And that is Sean Fox, who just came up and said, you know what? I think I know where you're going. I'm going to knock it out. So he went all over Grove and took him down.
Pressure up the middle. He tries to escape, and they have too much speed on the outside. Great job of closing and making that play. You pretty much have to make a quick read and give it up, Chase.
10 yards lost on the play.
It's a loss of 10. Second down and 20. And the question is, unless North Central can find a way to get something going here, how long do you stick with the starters? Because you've still got a long season to go. Averett the back next to him. He throws it out to Demetrius Averett, and Demetrius still nowhere to go. And you saw Jawan Waddell, number 3, try to avoid a penalty there. Didn't want to get called for block in the back. And Warren Central's number 3, Jelani Reed, able to tackle him for just a 2-yard gain, third down.
Now that's a play that early in the season versus Brebeuf would have turned into a 20, 25-yard gain. But Warren's defense, so quick and so reflexive in their reactions, just made that play just another play.
3rd and 6. Some trickery here from North Central. Tuajon Averett has the ball, trying to go around. It started promisingly. It does not end that way, as Calvin McDonald able to get there. Flags flying again. Tempers are flaring. North Central players trying to talk to each other. That was Quentin Gross who was getting a talking to from Kamari Mescal.
Yeah, loss of composure, something you can't really tolerate. It's a human nature, but it's not what we can tolerate as coaches. But that's another good example of it looked like the play was formulated to be successful, but their closing speed was so impressive on the defensive side for Warren that just snuffed that right away.
All right, they just called a personal foul against North Central. And they said one of the players is ejected. So he gave the
that would be
ejection
the big
signal.
fella, yeah.
And it looks like the player that got ejected from the game, I think it might have been, it looked like it was Quentin Gross, the junior offensive lineman. And that is tough.
If you drive a white Alfa Romeo in lot 9 and your license plate is
Yeah, at this point, more than anything, you just want to coach your team to be composed. Yes, it's frustrating. Yes, it's disappointing and heartbreaking, but you still got to play the game of football with the right mentality, working on your fundamentals, and just trying to get better every play.
And Gross, you could probably tell, was getting a talking to from one of his teammates, and I think it was because he saw something that Gross did, and that's part of the reason why he got ejected. Warren Central calling another timeout here to try to recompose themselves as they have one remaining. While they do that, we'll remind you that the Indy Thunder are Indiana's premier beat baseball organization, which gives blind and visually impaired athletes a chance to compete at the national and international level. The Thunder are now 6-time World Series champs, including a perfect 26-0 season in 2025. They are looking for sponsors, volunteers, and even players for their 25th season coming up in 2026. Contact Darnell Booker at 317-370-7231, and you can watch the Thunder anytime by logging on to ISCSportsNetwork.com. And I think this is definitely a moment as you see J.T. Whitaker, the head coach for Warren, I think it's about telling his players, stay composed, do not lose your temper in this situation. Two of the 3 touchdown drives for Warren lasted less than a minute. Their last touchdown drive was 3 plays, 40 yards, and it took exactly a minute. And North Central has the football after all of that, but after the personal foul penalty, they are backed up to their own 15-yard line, and it is 3rd and 37. Joe, when you were coaching, did you have a play call for 3rd and 37?
No, it's called the Hail Mary. Say 25 of them, and we almost got that snap over. This is twice now. He's taking his eye off that ball.
And it was going backwards, and Keyshawn Williams-Jarrett had to come back and get it at the 20. Well, the last punt was 8 yards. This one was 5.
And the first 2 were NFL.
Yeah.
This is, I hate to keep saying this, but this is just where you got to coach attitude. You got to continue to coach attitude. Everything that could go wrong in a football game is going wrong. And what do you do in response? How do you act in response? It says a lot about your character. It says a lot about your habits. And what you want to do is just learn from this, and one day you'll remember it and be thankful that you push through.
Now it's Quillen running the offense at quarterback. And Jonathan Dawson is giving Keon Thomas a break. Thomas has a touchdown run of 10 yards and another of 8 yards. And Dawson came close to having a touchdown run earlier. This time he is able to get to the, looks like they give him the 17, so a gain of 3. Makes it 2nd down and 7.
Keep fighting away up front, Panthers.
Quillen fires across the middle. Catch made for the touchdown. My goodness. And this time it's Keyshawn Williams-Jarrett. So 2 plays, 20 yards. Or did they say no? He didn't quite get in. So they're giving him the 1-yard line. See if
try to create some pressure. That's what you have to do to stop that running game. Try to create some pressure. Didn't have a safety in the middle of the field and gave up the deep post.
Jared Harrison was the one on the coverage, so he tackled him right at the 1, so 1st and goal. Flag flies again.
Jump offside.
And good leadership there on North Central's defense. Zane Winings Sophomore defensive back telling his teammate Chris Benjamin, hey, do not lose your composure here. And another Warren Central penalty, 5-yarder. False start backs him up to the 6. So that sets up 1st and goal from the 6-yard line. Dossett remains the running back. He gets the carry. Dossett, push backwards. That time, great pursuit by the Warren defense, and it was Winings again, number 21, doing a good job. Also helped out by Emmanuel Ohini Dwumfor.
Nice job up front. Everybody's in the right spot. We got our gaps filled. The ball is pushed to the outside. Support shows. Well played. Build off that front.
Keep Dossett in the game. Quillen is the quarterback on this drive. They've been rotating mostly between Quillen and Goss. Quillen rolling. Quillen firing. End zone. Nicely done. Threading the needle. Touchdown, Keyshawn Williams-Jarrett. Just able to roll to his right, find the opening, and settle down for the score.
Beautiful play for a 10th grader. Right in stride on the full run. I didn't know whether he was going to turn that up and try to run it. He had his eyes downfield the whole time, executed perfectly. Really, you can't ask for a young man to throw on the run any better. Breakdown in the secondary with a scramble play. And here we go.
Brings out Jermaine Ellery for the point after attempt. Anthony Dennison will hold. Four-play, 20-yard drive, minute 40 off the clock. Before the snap, a whistle and a flag. Might be offsides against North Central. It is. So instead of doing this from the 2, they get to do it from the 1. Yeah, I don't think you're going to see him be going for 2 up 48-0. That would make things get even more tense than they've already been between these two teams. Snap good, the hold good by Dennison. Ellery boots it through, and it is now 49-0. Warren Central.
With 4 minutes and 41 seconds remaining in the
So we'll go ahead and keep it here this time with the first half close to being in the books. Well, Joe, before the game, we talked about how North Central head coach Colin Kofer said this week it's all about having the right mindset. He has not gotten the result he has wanted so far in this one. Now, how does he get his team back on track to having a positive mindset despite what the scoreboard says?
Well, what you do at halftime is you try to block out everything that happened. This is a 0-0 game, and now we're just going to play football, and we're going to our progress, our victory today is just going to be stabilizing and playing positive football. Every mistake you can make in the game of football pretty much has taken place. Now we just want to stabilize, play the game, forget about everything that's happened. That's all we can do, and just try to put together a couple nice drives offensively, defensively, and in the kicking game, and try to build off that and get some confidence.
And the North Central cheerleaders doing all they can to try to keep the fans engaged. Pretty good crowd for them. Both crowds a little bit late arriving, but enjoying it, especially if you're on that Warren Central sideline. Averett picks up the kickoff return, stumbles down at the 28. Nice hit there made by Ramon Haskin.
But when he gets that ball under his arm and turns up the field, he sure does look nice. It looks like he can pop one at any time, and he's a young guy. That's going to all change for him. He'll get more physical and run through some of those tackles, but he sure is impressive with the quickness that he plays the game with.
Panthers starting from their own 18. Grove, floating pass, unable to hang on. Zion Murphy. Well, Murphy hasn't had a ton of work at running back. He's had a little bit. From what he's had, he's averaging close to 9 yards a carry. They're trying to get him involved in the passing game, 2nd and 10.
Yeah, he's one of those guys you really need to have on track if you're going to be a successful, well-rounded offense. Just couldn't pull that one in. Screen called at just the right time. A lot of that's been happening today. Calling the right plays at the right time. Just faltering at some aspect of it all.
Last year, Warren Central beat North Central in this game. Almost a year ago to the day, 30-0. And right now, Warren Central leads this game 49-0. Snap is high. That is the 3rd time that's happened. Twice on special teams, now once here on offense. Grove falls down on it on the 5-yard line. And that is a loss of 13 yards.
Very, very difficult. Very difficult. Yeah, you solve one problem and another pops up.
Mari Mescal, the man who snapped it over. Second and 23. Or excuse me, 3rd down and long. Just trying to put it end around, get some positive yards back. Averett, down he goes. Sean Fox, who's been terrific in pursuit. Trips him up at about the 11, so 3 yards gain back or so. It's 4th down and a mile, so out comes North Central to punt this one away.
And this has been the most glaring weak spot that they've had today is this punt team. We got our regular punt formation here.
Caleb Foles is back around in his end zone.
Here we go.
Clean snap this time. Foles gets away a good one, and the crowd appreciates it, but he didn't get a favorable bounce. Fielded on the bounce by Garland Davenport, senior linebacker.
Honestly, as fundamental as that is, you got to applaud the fact that that snap was right where it needed to be.
Uh-huh.
You got to take the baby steps. Young team, young staff, tough night. Build off of your success wherever you can.
Jack Quillen back in to run the offense. And Quillen, I think, is looking for, I think they need another lineman. He's looking around going where, it looks like they've only got 4 linemen. And Warren Central might have to burn their last time out. They do. So that gives North Central a chance to talk things over. So coming up at halftime, it is our Taylor's Pub halftime show. We'll have the Wabash College halftime trivia question, get you caught up on the first half and how it came to be. We'll try to find some other scores for you as well, as it's week 3 of the high school football season. And this is, I mean, it was clearly obvious coming into the game, Joe, historically, and even in terms of the matchup this year, that Warren Central was the favored team. But I think even they are surprised by how much they are leading by right now.
Well, you're right. They are a very, very good football team. But yes, they have received some gifts from above that they would have never dreamt of. This is, it's a very good team. They're gonna win a lot of games and play some good football. But to get all those breakdowns in the kicking game, easy touchdowns, certainly helps the cause.
Dossett getting the carry, and North Central reads it well in the backfield. Nate Vermillion, sophomore defensive lineman, with excellent pursuit there to bring Dossett down. They are spotting that right at the 30, so no gain, 2nd and 10. Or they actually, they moved it back a yard. So he lost one, 2nd and 11.
I think we are seeing some backups on that defense get an opportunity.
Garland Davenport, one of the senior defensive players, stays in there. Dossett gets the carry. And Colton Abitar Connor with another tackle. That's his 4th of the night. He's putting himself in position to be the dog of the game, which we name in the 4th quarter. Inside 2 minutes to play now in the first half. The running game has been the main workhorse for Warren Central. And then the special teams miscues have also told a big part of the story. Dossett the carry again. Not much room to work with. Good job by Travis Darden in pursuit for North Central. And Sincere Gilbreath also over there as well.
If you're on that North Central staff, you got to be thinking this is the longest half of football in the history of the game.
Well, he got to the 20, so it's a gain of 11 or right about there, so it's 4th and about inches, call it. North Central's got 2 timeouts, but to your point, they don't want to extend this first half any longer, I would think. Dossett gets the first down easily, trying to get more, still going. It just feels like no matter who gets the running call for Warren Central, Joe, they are going to plow through people.
They're physical up front. Right there, North Central had everybody on that defense within 5 yards of the line of scrimmage, and they still got blocked. So we're talking about a very good offensive line, and we'll continue. Game 3, you're starting to find out what you really have and who your players really are, but this is a good football team.
Flags come flying everywhere. Normally you see one official throw a flag, but when you see 3 of them throw one, it means they probably all saw the same thing. This is against Warren. It's their 8th penalty of the half. That's got to feel pretty good if you're TJ Whitaker. Yes, it is a holding penalty. That you can be up 49-0 and yet still find things to work on in practice.
Oh, they'll have plenty. They'll have plenty to work on.
So it is, they back it up to the 24. .33 seconds left and counting. If Warren wants to, they just need to run probably one more play. And there's Dossett, but right before they can, a flag comes down. And it's also good for North Central to see Andrew Veach back out there, number 14 in white. He came off the field earlier in the half with an injury. That running back that got the ball, Jeremiah Thomas. So it is Keon Thomas who's the bell cow back for Warren. Then they went to Jonathan Dossett. Now they're at Jeremiah Thomas.
And they probably have 6 or 7 others that can
right.
do it. But that's penalty number 9. You're right. This is on these kind of nights when everything's going right, generally.
And Warren Central just says, you know what? We're going to go ahead and just let the clock run out, and that takes care of the first half. And it was all Warriors in this one, 49-0 as they lead their rival from just up the road. We've got our halftime show coming up when we come back on the ISC Sports Network.
We build Indiana. The Laborers International Union of North America builds and maintains roads, bridges, and other essential infrastructure that make us the crossroads of America. So thanks to LIUNA members' work, Hoosiers have a better quality of life, like access to utilities, easier routes to jobs, schools, or medical care. We build Indiana for good jobs and stronger communities. The Laborers International Union of North America. We are LIUNA.
It is our halftime show brought to you in part by Taylor's Pub. Taylor's Pub and Grill at Greenbrier and Nora is your neighborhood pub where the drinks are cold, the crowd's electric, and the welcome is always warm. We've been serving Indy's North Side for over 30 years. Come for the game and stay for the good times at both 86th and Ditch and 86th and Westfield, right next to North Central High School. So Warren Central leading this one 49-0. They got the ball to start the game. They went down from the 3 to their own 44 and had to punt. Then North Central goes 3 and out, and they make a bad snap on special teams. Warren Central recovers it in the end zone. They go up 7-0. Then after another North Central 3 and out, Warren Central goes 2 plays, 19 yards. They capitalize off of another North Central mistake. Keon Thomas runs it in from 10 yards out. That makes it 14-0 Warriors. Then the Panthers go 3 and out again. Warren recovers a fumbled kickoff that Darian Ford then runs into the end zone for a touchdown. Extra point then made it 21-0. Warren got the ball back because North Central fumbled the kickoff. They recovered on the kickoff from the 45. They go 3 plays, 45 yards, 46 seconds, and Zechariah Wallace catches a 25-yard touchdown pass from Jack Quillen. That made it 28-0 Warren Central. Then the Panthers had to punt again after going 3 and out. Warren would get it with 1:28 to go in the first quarter. They would go on an 8-play scoring drive that Keon Thomas would cap off with an 8-yard touchdown run, and that made it 35-0 Warren Central. Then yet again, the Panthers could not get a first down. They only had 1 first down in that first half. They didn't get it on this next drive. Warren got it on the drive after that. 3 plays, 40 yards, 60 seconds off the clock. Zechariah Wallace, a 40-yard touchdown, and that made it 42-0 Warren Central. Panthers had to punt again, and then Keyshawn Williams Jarrett caught a 6-yard touchdown pass from Jack Quillen to make it 49-0, and that is your halftime score. It looks like rain is starting to fall here a little bit at Warren Central. So when we come back, we'll have a special halftime guest. We'll tell you a little bit more about our halftime sponsors. As a matter of fact, let's go ahead and do that right now before we get to our guest. Our halftime show also brought to you in part by LIUNA, the proud members of the Indiana Laborers District Council and affiliate local unions who build Indiana. We are LIUNA. Raising Cane's, game days are better with Cane's. Raising Cane's chicken fingers, one love. Also by Taylor's Pub and Grill, come for the game and stay for the good vibes. And by Wabash College, schedule your visit now at wabash.edu. We're back in a moment. More with our halftime show next on the ISC Sports Network.
Gridiron Foundation is all about development. When they first start learning about football, all the way to high school, giving them opportunities with their hard work and the ecosystem we've built.
We take them out of their neighborhoods and put them in front of Division I coaches and give them a purpose and a chance to be successful after high school.
The type of growth that I've seen in our athletes and the Gridiron Foundation has been more off the field than on the field. That was the original purpose, to make well-rounded young men in life and community.
1, 2, 3, touchdown!
Our halftime show, 49-0 Warren Central leading North Central, and joining us for our usual halftime interview is Michael Logan with the Paul Logan Foundation. Michael, thanks for coming up. I know it's been a tough first half for you guys. Aside from this game, how have you been this week?
Oh, it hasn't been bad. Short week in the school week, so kind of getting full swing of things. We thought coming in here we'd have a better shot, and Clearly we didn't get off the bus today, but it's all right. There's learning from everything. We'll see what happens there.
Some things going on with the Paul Logan Foundation. What do you guys have planned for this year that you want people to know about?
Absolutely. So tomorrow at North Central, we have the Paul Logan Invitational for girls soccer. It's a great opportunity. I believe it's 6 games. Teams all across from the state. Great opportunity to come out and watch some soccer. Not only that, it gives back to the foundation and just allows us to express in not only just football, but soccer, to tennis and everything like that, and give all the kids a chance to really realize what the Paul Logan Foundation is all about.
And you mentioned at the soccer matches tomorrow. What else is going on at North Central athletically that you want to talk about?
For sure. It's I mean, the fall is very upbeat. Paul Logan Invitational for soccer. Then we'll hit the winter time where we have the Paul Logan Invitational for basketball and the Paul Logan Invitational for wrestling. It's really great events. It gives us a chance to really spread the name. Very fortunate with North Central and Muskegon Township allowing us as a foundation to be a part of it. Again, at the end of the day, we're spreading awareness and impacting Muskegon Township student athletes and allowing us to keep my dad's legacy alive and really try and get back to our community.
On behalf of North Central Athletics and the Paul Logan Foundation, Michael Logan is our guest now. And you know, Michael, I know you and I have talked about this before, but what are some things that you continue to hear about your dad and his legacy and what he did for North Central ever since he passed in 2020?
Honestly, I mean, I just think coming to all these places, I mean, the Mic's been around since I think 1994, and the impact he has, and seeing just some of the ADs here, the Coach Moyers, the athletic director here at Warren Central, back knowing him when he was at Pike, and he was the head coach at Pike, and just making all those connections and just kind of bringing us all back. I mean, fun fact is JT Whitaker's a North Central alum. Head Coach Whitaker, I remember being his ball boy on Friday nights, watching my dad coach and him playing quarterback. So it's just awesome to see, and just a circle that my dad brought to us as a family and all the people we've met through, and just kind of running into them and reminiscing on memories and all those good things.
Joe and I talked about this during the game. It's like you have 2 UIndy graduates coaching against each other that have familiarity with one another, but also great respect for one another. It's got to feel like things have come full circle here.
It has. I mean, Joe can call us UIndy of the North, but just kind of seeing all those connections. My dad lived and died as a Greyhound. Brother went there, and no, it's awesome to see. And obviously, University of Annapolis is a tremendous college university, and it's exciting to see full circle for sure.
Michael Logan from the Paul Logan Foundation. Michael, thank you so much for coming up. I know it was tough for you to stomach that first half. We appreciate you coming up. Good luck in the second half, and we'll talk to you next week.
No, I appreciate it. Thank you, guys. See you guys soon.
Thank you. We have the Wabash College halftime trivia question and much more when we come back in a moment on the ISC Sports Network.
You get this really close interaction, not only with the professor, you also get a connection with the other students.
It holds you accountable. You stay on top of your work and you show up to class, you put in the effort.
You're never gonna have a day where you're like, oh, I think I can get away with maybe not talking so much or maybe not doing this reading. There's really no option for that at Wabash because your professors know exactly who you are and they know exactly how to push you to make sure you're pushing yourself.
We build Indiana. The Laborers International Union of North America builds and maintains roads, bridges, and other essential infrastructure that make us the crossroads of America. So thanks to LIUNA members' work, Hoosiers have a better quality of life, like access to utilities, easier routes to jobs, schools, or medical care. We build Indiana for good jobs and stronger communities. The Laborers International Union of North America. We are LIUNA.
Good halftime entertainment being shown to us from the Warren Central Band. Warren Central's opponents' records coming in at tonight, 3-1. North Central's at 2-2. Of course, Warren has dominated this series over the last 40 years, winning this game last season 30-0, and they are on their way to a mercy rule victory at this point, leading 49-0. So we'll see how North Central responds in the second half. Rejoining me now, Joe Pulizzi up in our halftime show. It is now time for the Wabash College halftime trivia question. So the Wabash College football season begins on September 6th, so tomorrow, when the Little Giants visit St. Norbert in Wisconsin. This is what year for football at Wabash? Is it A, 125, B, 133, C, 138, or D, 141, Joe?
I'm going to go C.
You are correct. It is 138 years for Wabash football. Wabash began playing football in 1884. Schedule your campus visit now at wabash.edu. Joe, do you have any experience, by the way, with the Monon Bell game between Wabash and DePaul?
I do not. I have heard tremendous reports of this. I've seen bits of it on TV, but I've never actually been there. I understand it's one of the things that you have to see before you hang up the football spikes.
Yeah, it's definitely, in terms of rivalry and just sheer hatred, I guess, and passion and grit and toughness, it's a phenomenal rivalry between Wabash and DePaul. It's up there with Purdue and IU and some of the other great college rivalries that you see in Auburn, Alabama. I know it's D3, but in just sheer volume of, you can't stand the other team. You look forward to playing that game all year long, and you wait for the last game of the fall. It's certainly a sight to see.
I love the fact that it's just, there are two small Indiana schools, but this is a national game. Mm-hmm. Everybody knows about this. People in California know about the Monon Bell just because of the depth of this rivalry. Now, I wasn't aware of the hatred.
Yeah.
Because they seem like pretty happy schools, but you got to imagine once they're out on that gridiron, anything goes.
Yeah. YouTube a video called the Monon Ballad. That'll show you everything. It'll highlights all throughout the years. It's common for whoever has the bell at their school, the other team will try to steal it.
Okay.
Yes, they have to give it back if they do steal it, but it's just having bragging rights, in fact, that they did, in fact, steal it. So, and of course, what's even better about the Monon Bell, ISC Sports Network has the rights to it, and of course, the incomparable Greg Rakestraw gets to call that game for you every November. So that is definitely a special day for him and the ISC Sports Network. Joe, one of the things it feels like high school halftimes are getting longer and longer, and when you are North Central and you are having to go to the locker room down 49-0, and now rain starting to settle in, which you've got to figure out a way to bounce back from this for sure. But the longer you have in that locker room to think about it, that can maybe sometimes be a detriment.
Well, that's one way of looking at it, and there's no question about it. But this being the first year of a new program, this is, and I'm sure Coach Kofer has taken advantage of it. This is the classroom. This is the ideal time for you to teach what's going to be the foundation of your program. Yeah, we're playing awful. Yeah, we're getting smacked around, but we're going to win, and we're going to find ways to turn this into something that's going to fuel us versus just sitting around here crying in the locker room.
So it isn't often that you see, and we talked about this with Michael Logan in the break, the four special teams blunders in a quarter that led to what would have felt like was 28-0 in the blink of an eye. And I guess one way to spin it positively for your team is, we're not going to do that again for the rest of the season. We got that out of our system. Is that something like that what you'd be telling your team right now?
I think that would be a good way to do it, and I also think that you're right. You're never going to see the likes of this again, and unfortunately it had to happen to us. But it will also help them hammer home the concept of fundamentals. If you take your eye off the fundamental of your position at any time, things like this can happen. That long snapper has probably snapped 6,000 balls so far this year, and probably 5,000 plus were right on the belt buckle, just where you need them. And today it just gets away from him. And again, I doing this all my life, it's just what do you do with it as a coach? You certainly don't ridicule, but you build off of it, and there are lessons to be learned from it, and not only lessons that you'll carry you on the football field, but lessons that will be beneficial for you later in life.
All Warren Central here in this one, 49-0. Let's get you some other scores from around the state of Indiana. Probably one of the big matchups tonight in 6A. Number 5, Hamilton Southeastern, who took care of business against North Central last week. They're playing 6th-ranked Avon, and at last count, Hamilton Southeastern leads Avon 14-7 in the third quarter of that game. It is halftime, I believe, between New Palestine and Yorktown. New Palestine with a 28-0 lead. They're going to be incredibly tough to deal with in 5A. Brownsburg Athletics, of course, got to look at them. They are considered to be the cream of the crop in 6A. The score we're seeing there that is the latest is Brownsburg leading Franklin Central 35-0 at the half. So that game on the verge of being a mercy rule contest, and a good showing from Carmel. Carmel is ahead of Centerville, Ohio, 28-0 in that one. Center Grove, let's see here. Looking like, it looks like actually Bishop Chittard has a 19-3 lead over Roncalli. That game is at Chittard, and they just got underway with the second half of that one. Fishers, see where they are.
Up big over Noblesville.
There you go. Yep, so they are up big over, just my screen just refreshed there. 42-3 is the halftime score of that one. So as we look at some of those scores, Joe, anything crazy pop out to you when you hear those?
Well, I think that it's just, there's a lot of great football in the state of Indiana. That's what I go to. So much balance, so many good football teams. And I especially like when they leave the state and go take on somebody else out of state and show what kind of a talent pool we have around here. But it's another exciting night. Already it's week 3, and it's just going to go by so quick. You just got to cherish it as you can.
You see some of the rain coming down, people putting up their umbrellas and their coats, ponchos, whatever it may be. Looking at the radar, looks like that this little blip of rain is about to move out. So we should be able to start the second half on this turf in clean fashion weather-wise. When we come back, we will show you some of the first half highlights from this one, a game that has been dominated by the home team, the Warren Central Warriors. All that and more coming up when we come back on the ISC Sports Network.
We build Indiana. The Laborers International Union of North America are building roads and bridges to get Hoosiers where they're going today, and a new energy infrastructure that will keep Indiana competitive tomorrow. LIUNA's over 12,000 statewide members also grow local economies, earning good union wages, shopping where they live and work, and paying taxes. We build Indiana for good jobs and stronger communities. The Laborers International Union of North America. We are LIUNA.
Your home uses water all day, every day. So when plumbing problems arise, you need them fixed fast and right. The LD Smith Plumbing Crew can handle anything, from outdoor plumbing repairs to everyday water problems. Plumbing may not be pretty, but we're pretty darn good at it, and we'll always give you a fair price.
That's our dirty, stinking, honest LD Smith Plumbing promise.
LD Smith Plumbing.
A dirty, stinking honest.
Call today and save up to $300 on a new water heater installed.
First half highlights here on the ISC Sports Network. It's highlights for Warren, lowlights for North Central. That was the first big mistake of the game, where Warren Central capitalized off the bad snap. They scored the touchdown out of it. Then their bell cow back, Keon Thomas, with 2 rushing touchdowns. And then this mistake right here, which, by the way, it was confirmed to us at halftime by Michael Logan, who did tell us that he got a better look at it than we did. He was closer. Apparently that ball did bounce and hit a North Central player on the shin, which is why that led to the Warren Central recovery and the touchdown. Then obviously that mistake, not being able to recover the kickoff, that leads to Keon Thomas just continuing to be the bell cow there. And both quarterbacks, that's the thing too that we were also noticing about this game. 3 quarterbacks were listed as playing for tonight. The starter was Anthony Dennison, but we also knew we'd see quite a bit of Jack Quillen and Joe Goss. Joe, what do you we know the running back story was going to be a big one with Keon Thomas. He already has 6 rushing touchdowns on the year, 2 tonight. But how about the way the quarterbacks have played in this game?
I think they're equally effective, and that's why it's been a tough call. That's why you're playing 3 quarterbacks. It's a tough call to decide who's your guy when they all can play and they all have their individual skills that they can shine on. So it's a good problem to have. I'm sure they're going to have to work it out before too long, but tonight they can celebrate the fact that all 3 have played extremely well and are capable of moving the football team.
You mentioned an interesting point, I thought, in the first half when things started to not go very well for North Central. And I know you being a former football coach, body language is important. What is the appropriate body language to have even if you are down 49-0?
You know what? It's human nature is to be disturbed, disappointed, and what you try to teach somebody that's involved in the game of football, the great game of football, is I'm going to use a boxing reference here. You just fight one more round. You just keep coming. You don't want to show that you're defeated, because that is not, first of all, it's not going to help you become successful. Second of all, it's going to be contagious among your team. But you just want to be a rock solid, stoic, and just keep coming. I don't care what happens. I'm going to play at a certain level. I'm going to play up to my standard, and I'm not going to act disappointed regardless of what happens. That's what you'd love to see.
And that we'll see if we can see that from North Central once the second half begins. And Warren Central fans certainly looking forward to this game every year. It's always a big rivalry game between these 2 conference opponents. It's also the first conference game for either team. And I think it's interesting to see how North Central played Hamilton Southeastern. As you know, I think one of the biggest thing if you're Colin Kofer is just saying, guys, it was a 31-7 game last week, but it wouldn't have been as bad if we just didn't make mistakes. We don't make mistakes in this game, it's not 49-0. If we just clean ourselves up, look at how much better things would be.
That's the whole thing right now, is just understanding that the scoreboard says one thing, but we know differently. We're a better football team than we're showing right now, and if we lose sight of that and get distracted by all the externals, and we lose sight of the fact that just fundamentally do your job, do the things you're coached to do, and do it as hard as you can, we will be successful.
Our halftime show was brought to you in part by the Fountain Room, voted one of America's 50 most beautiful restaurants, the Fountain Room. By the Gridiron Foundation, growth, development, purpose. Find out more at gridiron.org. By the IndyCard Exchange, see if you can make money off your collection at IndyCardExchange.com. And by LD Smith Plumbing, the big dogs of plumbing and drains. Tuajon Averett going back to receive the kickoff from Jermaine Ellery. And again, this is a game where the third element of the game has really been large. Not offense, not defense so much, but special teams. So every kickoff, every punt just seems like it's got a lot of weight attached to it.
You wanted a bigger word than large, I know that. Enormous, gigantic.
Gargantuan.
Exactly. I've never seen a game that turned so quickly and so emphatically than what has happened in the kicking game.
So North Central able to field this one. It is Jalen Amos, the up man, and Amos has gotten some work at running back. He certainly did in the first game against Brebeuf, and he has a decent return, but we might have a flag. Or do we not? No, it's clean. So that's good news for North Central. One thing that they have not had a lot of is penalties. They had 2 penalties in that first half to Warren Central's 9. So that good return for Amos stands, and we were wondering if Chase Grove would come out and start at quarterback in the second half. He is. So he was warming up with Cole Kreinhagen. We did see Kreinhagen a little bit last week in North Central's loss to Hamilton Southeastern. So we'll see what Grove is able to put together here as he gets to start on the Warren Central side of the field from the 48 with the clock running because of the score. Grove firing right side. He had a man open, but his man was going up the seam. He threw it right. incomplete, second down.
Unfortunate miscommunication there because they did get behind that secondary. I'm not sure what Chase was thinking on that, but I think this is a very key drive for him. A young man, 10th grade, couldn't imagine a worse first half. Now we get to start anew, and we get to build off of our fundamentals, and I'm anxious to see how he performs here. Get rid of that clutter of all the distractions of what happened and play your best football.
Noah Covington in it, tight end to the right. Demetrius Averett in the slot. Tuajon Averett gets the carry. Tuajon brought down at the 44-yard line. Derek Sutton over there to bring him down, helped out as well by Thomas Minor. Third down.
Some good football up front. I'm telling you, they came off that ball as well tonight in this play than I've seen in quite a while. Somebody did some coaching over the halftime. That offensive line is looking sharp, and if we could continue to run that football hard and right at them, I think that's going to be the best bet.
3rd and 5. North Central still, by my calculations, has not picked up a first down. Tuajon Averett able to change that right there, unless, of course, this penalty's against North Central, but it looks like it's against Warren. The tackle was made by Thomas Minor, but there might have been a face mask there.
No, it's against the white shirts.
Oh, well, that's tough.
I think as long as they're letting the clock run, they should also put the flags away. Is that something we can
We'll have to talk to Paul Neidig, commissioner of the IHSAA. I know he's a friend of the ISC Sports Network.
Because this clock is running while they're walking things off. This would kill me if I was on the sideline. I'm trying to get back in this game, and these guys are moseying around. Well, my clock is disappearing.
Yeah, that's one of the things that's been somewhat controversial about the penalty, or about the penalty rule, the mercy rule. Good grief, I can't talk.
Well,
been a day. Grove with a high snap and the handoff to Averett.
Go, baby.
And Averett able to get the penalty yardage back, and he's tackled there by Ramon Haskin. Haskin had a nice special teams tackle earlier.
See, right there is exactly the things I'm talking about. It doesn't matter, 49-0 down or 49-0 up. Number 5 is playing the game at a high motor.
Yep.
And that's the kind of culture that you build, especially when you're trying to put together a program that has not been successful and you're a newly hired coach.
4th and 2. Grove firing, catch made. There's the first down of the evening. Zion Murphy chased out of bounds by Jordan Adams. The short passing game has, really the entire passing game for North Central has not been where they want it to be. Short passing game has been struggling, so it's good to see them get that going there.
I think that's going to be the answer for them. Protection issues, and it's going to be that way in the type of conference they're in. Protection issues are going to be there for a while, so you're best off getting that ball in your hands and getting rid of it quick.
11-yard gain on that play. First down, firing, and again, miscommunication. Grove had one idea. The receiver clearly was running a different route. Looked like the intended target, or the only one it could have been, was Antonio Woodson.
Grove wanted the hitch, and Woodson wanted the fade, and yeah, I like the way this drive is going. This shows me that they did some coaching at the halftime because they are playing well. But those are unforced errors right there that really are frustrating.
Again, mercy rule, clock running, firing left, incomplete. Jawan Waddell. What do you think's going on? Joe, is it all mechanics with Grove, or is it something mental? It just he just has not looked, even in the defeat against Hamilton Southeastern last week, he looked sharper than this.
I think he is. I think it's wear and tear. He's taken a lot of hits. I think he's a young guy. He's probably not as strong versus adversity as he will be. And this time he's on the right hash, sprinting out to his left. That's a tough throw regardless. And just got away from him.
So they get it to Murphy. Murphy inside the 30, down to about the 28. third. It was 3rd and long. Now it's 4th and long. So, again, you're going for it no matter what. Minor with another Warren Central tackle.
I'm sure you've heard the interviews of Brady when they were down in that Super Bowl 28-3 and his mindset. That's the ideal mindset that you want. And as soon as you can cultivate that, the better off you're going to be.
Grove throws a strike to the sideline. And he got it to Javen Brooks. Remember, early on in that game against Hamilton Southeastern, Brooks and Grove really had a connection going before Hamilton Southeastern figured it out. And that's the first time they've been able to connect tonight.
And that's pretty much the case of a lot of quarterbacks, even on the college level. When the ball's on the right hash, it is very difficult. It's so tempting as a coach to want to work to the left side of the field, but you're so much better throwing the ball into the boundary. Grove certainly got all of that one.
High snap again. Grove able to pick it up. He fires and almost picked off. And Braden Kelly upset with himself because he thought for sure that he was going to have an interception there. The senior defensive back was in the right position. And his teammate Jordan Adams saying, don't worry about it. Well done.
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure what that was intended for. We had some seams down the middle, and safety just played that very, very well. Try to get this drive through without any more mistakes. Read what's there and give the football to the right person.
Both Averets in the game, Demetrius and Tuajon. Throw out left, catch made on the run, but not much there. Jordan Jones on the reception, and he was brought down by Minor once again. Helped out as well by Ramon Haskin. So it's 3rd down.
Number 40, Kimani Stevenson, number 41, Ramon Haskin.
11th play of the drive coming up for North Central.
Very impressive what they've been able to do. This is just what you want. Come out and execute, and let's get something we can build off of.
Grove rolling.
Run that ball.
Yeah, he had room to run. There's that closing speed, but they don't get there. It looked like they might bring him down, and Chase Grove scrambles, and they say he is in for the touchdown.
Beautiful.
18-yard touchdown scramble for Chase Grove.
North Central came after them. They brought the house up the middle. Good adjustment by Chase getting outside. Saw that he had some green in front of him and took charge and got it into the end zone. Nice drive, beautiful answer to start the second half, and a nice character effort by that whole North Central football team.
Chase Grove on the season through now 3 games, 7 carries for 48 yards, and he just got his first rushing touchdown of the season. 12 play, 48-yard drive. Foles for the extra point. Got it. 49-7 Warren Central. They get the ball when we come back on the ISC Sports Network. Tonight's game brought to you in part by the Shear Brothers team at United Real Estate. They're the only sales team that offers a 100% satisfaction guarantee. Give them a call for details, 317-255-7285. That is Shear Brothers Realty. 12 plays, 48 yards. Chase Grove, an 18-yard touchdown scramble, puts North Central on the board. As Caleb Foles ready to kick this one away from the 40. North Central just needed something positive to go with there, and they got it. And even though the clock will run once we start play, they needed to feel good about something. It was 9 minutes and 32 seconds. That's how long the drive went with the clock not stopping.
You are so right.
And Damon Krim with the return. He runs into the waiting arms of Braylon Stallings. And it looks like he'll start this drive for his Warren Central Panthers. They will put him at the 20. They're putting him at the 29-yard line. So a return of about 15 yards.
You know, this is exactly what you want to see. And you hit the nail on the head. That drive made so much of a difference. There's a thing, it's called the delicate climb, and that's where North Central is right now. And that drive was so important. You saw that kickoff team, they went down harder than I've seen them go down all year. That little bit of enthusiasm makes a huge difference in a young team like this.
And now we get another look at Anthony Dennison, who's back in at quarterback. 3 different guys. Flag comes down. Third running back for Warren Central, Jeremiah Thomas getting the carry, his second carry of the night. We'll see what the flag is about, though. And again, that's one thing that if you are Warren Central, you are not going to be happy about rewatching this film. Because if this is on them, it's their 10th penalty of the night. Never mind. It is a face mask on North Central. So North Central had 2 penalties the entire first half. They have 2 now in the second half. Really, the only blemish on that drive they had for the TD was the 1 holding penalty, which they were able to overcome.
Right, absolutely. Yeah, I hope they hammered that at halftime too. These are senseless penalties, and it's all, you know, it reverts back to your commitment to the fundamentals. And that's what you're trying to build on right now to get this program established.
Dennison realizing he's got 1 more play to run. Going back to Thomas. And Jeremiah Thomas with just a gain of a couple to the 35. And that takes us to the end of the third quarter. Before we break for the end of the third quarter, we'll remind you that we're brought to you in part by Taylor's Bar and Table, the same Taylor you have known and loved for 30 years, but now it's time for the whole family to get the experience serving Noblesville, Fishers, Ingalls, and Pendleton. It is your spot for great meals, friendly faces, and a place everyone can enjoy together. Taylor's Bar and Table. Back to start the fourth quarter in a moment on the ISC Sports Network.
We build Indiana. The Laborers International Union of North America are building roads and bridges to get Hoosiers where they're going today, and a new energy infrastructure that will keep Indiana competitive tomorrow. LIUNA's over 12,000 statewide members also grow local economies, earning good union wages, shopping where they live and work, and paying taxes. We build Indiana for good jobs and stronger communities. The Laborers International Union of North America. We are LIUNA.
Your home uses water all day, every day. So when plumbing problems arise, you need them fixed fast and right. The LD Smith Plumbing crew can handle anything, from outdoor plumbing repairs to everyday water problems. Plumbing may not be pretty, but we're pretty darn good at it, and we'll always give you a fair price.
That's our dirty, stinking honest LD Smith Plumbing promise.
LD Smith Plumbing.
A dirty, stinking honest.
Call today and save up to $300 on a new water heater installed.
They're doing their fourth quarter light display at Warren Central. Tonight's game brought to you in part by the 12,000 Hoosier men and women with Laborers District Council and affiliated local unions that build in Indiana. We are LIUNA. Warren Central starts the fourth quarter with an incomplete pass from Dennison out to the wide receiver, Caden Sturdivant. Sophomore, 5'8", 175-pounder. And Kenneth Still was in there guarding him, number 15 you see on your screen there. It's been a chippy night. Quite a few penalties, mistakes by the Panthers. They had a player get ejected in the first half. It has been a tough one to go through.
I'd say that's pretty positive, the way the coaches were able to reinstall some discipline there.
Dennison floats this one out to Jonathan Dossett, and Dossett able to turn it upfield and is tackled on the far sideline by Colton Abatar Connor. He's getting close to being our dog of the game, I think. He has been in on so many big plays, whether he's been tackling the running back, going after receivers. He's been doing all he can.
Strong candidate.
1st and 10 for Warren from their own 44.
Yeah, it's pretty futile. I wonder if there's been a team that has come back to win versus the running clock.
I don't know. I have not heard of an example since they did that in Indiana. Dawson gets the carry again. Ennis hits him hard and then helps finish him off. But underneath that pile to help drive him down was Kenneth Still. As Still gets up well after that hit. 2nd down.
He hit the brick wall there, didn't he?
Yeah, he did.
I like him. He's going to be something. Just a junior. There's a lot of great juniors on the field, both sides of the ball.
Schneider Pierre, who you're looking at right there, number 12. He's one of the seniors, and he is one of the team captains that you see go out at midfield to do the coin toss. I think Patrick Moses is now the new running back. He gets the carry here. So 4 different running backs have now touched the ball for Warren. Shoved down by Colton Avatar Connor yet again. And Kenneth Still as well. 3rd down.
Number 14, Andrew Veach on the tackle.
Andrew Veach helped him out as well. So
that brings up 3rd and 6.
Come on, let's get this stop, huh?
That's got to be your mindset if you're North Central right now. At least find a way to get a stop on this. Get the ball back and try to finish the game strong. Dennison. Firing. And good coverage down the field by Pierre as he was guarding Kamir James, senior wide receiver, who just could not shake free. And it's been rare. Warren Central on to punt this one away. This is their first punt since the first quarter, because remember they had it on their opening drive. They drove to the 44. They had to punt it there. And that's been the only other time they've had to punt so far in this game. Demetrius Averett back deep to receive the punt from Jermaine Ellery.
And this punt is brought to you by some great pressure up front. Put the quarterback on his tail. He had a guy open. Man-to-man coverage on the outside. He had a guy open, but the pressure was too much and caused that errant throw.
So Warren Central uses their first second-half timeout. While they do that, we'll remind you that the IndyCard Exchange will make you a competitive offer on vintage and modern sports cards and Pokemon cards as well. The IndyCard Exchange now offers in-person grading services at their 96th Street location just west of I-69. Plus, you can sign your kids up for the free IndyCard Exchange Kids Club if they are 13 or younger. Find out more when you log on to IndyCardExchange.com. They are coming out of the timeout. 4th down and 6. I got to think if you're Warren, even though you're up 42, the last thing you want to do is give Demetrius Averett a chance to return this one. He's standing back near his own 20.
Dangerous. Dangerous young man. Some pressure.
Averett comes up with it, gets tackled at about the 30. Good pressure that was put on up front by Tyron Brady, a senior linebacker. He nearly blocked that one.
Okay, drive, stop. Now another drive, and we're back in the game here, North Central.
There you go.
Not in this game, but certainly in the direction that you want this program to go.
Yep. Again, clock running. If it's a 35-point deficit or more, the clock automatically runs, and it's been that way for most of the game. It became 35-0 on a Keon Thomas 8-yard touchdown run early in that second quarter. And ever since then, we knew it was going to be a running clock because Warren kept their foot on the gas and led 49-0 at half. Chase Grove still in the game. That shows Colin Kofer's commitment to Chase. He's firing for it all. Almost had Gillespie, and it's incomplete. Jeremiah Gillespie, who has been listed as a quarterback at times in the past, has also shown his ability as a wide receiver, but it's incomplete here.
I like it, though. I like the aggressive attitude. Take a shot deep. That was almost a spectacular grab, and those are the things that I like to see. I mean, a coach is showing confidence in a team that, at this point, is striving for it.
Grove with a fake and the throw to Averett. Averett upended at about the 41-yard line. Should be close to a first down. And it was Darian Ford who came up and made the tackle. Ford, remember, scored one of those touchdowns in the first half off of a punt mistake. And they are not quite giving them the first down. It's 3rd and a yard.
I do like the effort. I do like the effort we see from these guys in the white shirts. There was some perimeter blocking downfield, very aggressive. Lots of effort. That's what you're looking for at this point of a game.
High snap, and Grove bobbles it but picks it back up. I think he's able to scramble for the first down. That's one thing that they're going to have to work on in practice this week. The snapping has been an issue on special teams and on offense.
I thought you were going to say atrocious, and I would have agreed. Yes, the very fundamentals that you work on day one, you just got to go back to that and just keep hammering. And there's lessons to be learned in all these things.
Grove with a sidearm pass out to Brooks. And that little bubble screen that he's got going to Brooks, that's been pretty effective at times throughout the season. Javen Brooks with his second catch of the night to the 48-yard line. Pickup of 7, 2nd and 3.
Finish this off. Finish this off. Get some points.
Ford had to pull him down for that. Wide to the left this time goes Jawan Waddell. Dump off in the backfield to Zion Murphy. Murphy cutting back inside, has the first down, still going, barreling his way over defenders. What a move by Zion Murphy. He has shown his athleticism.
And motor. That motor was not turned off. These are great things for this whole staff to coach up. When they get together and watch this film, we're seeing who played their tails off in this second half when the game is out of reach. That says so much about a young man.
Grove stepping up and firing. Hit as he throws.
Got him. Got him.
It was a little underthrown. It was just a little bit behind. And you know why? That pressure that was put on by James Curry, sophomore defensive lineman, did just enough to mess with Chase Grove there. 2nd down and 10.
He pretty much outran that throw. That's not bad.
We are brought to you in part by LIUNA, the 12,000 Hoosier men and women with Laborers District Council and affiliated local unions that build in Indiana. We are LIUNA.
That's a 10th grader down there. Almost making that catch. You can win with him.
There's Murphy. He's a guy you can win with as well. And Murphy is run down by Scott Bostick, a sophomore linebacker. So both teams emptying out their bench as the game moves on to the 42.
Number 46, Scott Bostick.
3rd down and 7 for the North Central offense.
After the 3-yard gain.
Brooks going in the slot. Averett's with him. Now he comes in motion. Grove with the swings it wide, incomplete to Tuajon Averett, out of his reach. And it is 4th and 7. Wonder if they will keep the offense out there or if they will use this opportunity to try to work on special teams. But it looks like Grove not leaving the field. Nope. Yeah. Went over there to get the play call. Back out he goes.
He should have had that one. That was a little fundamental breakdown. That was a completion waiting to happen.
Grove has a clean pocket. He's looking for Averett. Brooks is down there as well. He overthrows both of them. Got to admire the effort, but it just ran out of real estate, and Warren Central gets the ball on downs. Don't forget, we're brought to you in part as well by the College Prospects of America. The CPOA team knows college recruiting and is available 24/7 to provide solutions that serve you. They are your total advocate. The CPOA team will work tirelessly to provide counsel and assess and seek answers for you and your family. From our first phone call through your college graduation and everything in between, email the man to my left, that's Joe Polizzi, at cpoateam@gmail.com for more information.
Well, I would consider this second half a win for Coach Cofer.
Yep.
Although the scoreboard will say differently, the newspaper will say differently, but they bounced back and played solid football. And that's pretty much where you had to be after a debacle in the first half.
Jeremiah Thomas with his 4th carry of the night. Moving ahead to the 44, gaining 2, 2nd down and 8. Just probably got to run a couple more plays here. Still got to name our LD Smith Plumbing big dog of the game.
Your guy.
All right. I think I know who you're talking about. Colton Abatar Connor came in as the leading tackler for North Central. And on a night where the defense struggled, Abatar Connor really fought hard all throughout to try to keep his team in it. And there's another carry, and that is probably going to do it.
I want to see these two Indy Greyhounds shaking hands out here.
Yep.
He got you this time, Colin.
Abatar Connor came into tonight with 18 total tackles. He leaves with 10 more on top of it. So he is our LD Smith Plumbing big dog of the game. Just like the offensive and defensive linemen, the big dogs of sewers and drains do the dirty work in the trenches. At LD Smith Plumbing and Drains, we know a thing or two about getting dirty and keeping things flowing. Hats off to Colton Abatar Connor, tonight's big dog, for leading the charge. Brought to you by LD Smith Plumbing. Well, not the desired result you'd want for if you're the North Central Panthers on the whole. But like you said, Joe, in the second half, they had to be pleased with the effort, and body language and communication and everything seemed to be better there.
I will say where it could have continued to go down that avalanche. The first half was a total mess, but they were able to gather and stabilize and play consistent, respectable football in the second half. Those are the things you have to build on with a young team and a young program, and you just bounce back next week and you work hard on all the things that broke down. All the kicking game issues that you mentioned have got to be completely erased. The attitude issues that somewhat showed their heads in the first half have got to be erased. You build on what you saw. You point out the great efforts in that second half, and you come back storming. Warren is a very good football team. North Central certainly helped them become this one-sided, but you didn't bow down to a pansy.
Well, Warren Central, especially on defense, they gave up 24 in their first game against Center Grove, 14 to Warsaw, and now just 7 tonight. So it's obvious that along with their running game, led by their bell cow back, Keon Thomas, their stable of quarterbacks, and their defense, that they are a well-oiled machine.
They are. They're a very good football team, and they had the benefit of some fluky touchdowns that they may never see again in their lifetime, and they took advantage of it. But they are a very solid team, strong in most areas, and we didn't get to see a lot of their defensive secondary, but their front seven is very, very impressive.
Warren Central displaying their victorious light show here. This is their second game they've had at home this year, and they win it by a count of 49-7. Big thank you to our entire team. Vince Morellis, our director. Carlos Alaborn on the replay. Graphics, Jacob Wright, Anastasia Terrell, Kate Johnson, and Dominic Williams, our camera operators, and Bill Polizzi. Big thanks to him as well. I'm John Harris. Before we sign off, we are brought to you in part by LIUNA, the proud members of the Indiana Laborers District Council and affiliate local unions who build in Indiana. We are LIUNA. By Raising Cane's. Game days are better with Cane's. Raising Cane's. Chicken fingers, one love. By Shear Brothers Realty, local real estate experts serving the neighborhoods around North Central and throughout Washington Township. By Taylor's Pub and Grill, come for the game, stay for the good times. And by Wabash College, schedule your visit now at wabash.edu. Your final score for the final time, Warren Central 49, North Central 7. You've been watching high school football on the IHSAA Sports Network.
Gridiron Foundation is all about development. When they first started learning about football, all the way to high school, giving them opportunities with their hard work and the ecosystem we've built.
We take them out of their neighborhoods and put them in front of Division I coaches and give them a purpose and a chance to be successful after high school.
The type of growth that I've seen in our athletes and the Gridiron Foundation has been more off the field than on the field. That was the original purpose, to make well-rounded young men in life and community.
1, 2, 3,